What is up, Panther Nation, Pantherologists? Welcome back to yet another live stream. Today's episode, we've got some hot seats to talk about, some news, some updates, some free agent targets, and also we're going to be also talking about my projection for the week one depth chart, obviously, as you can see. So we're really going to dive in a lot today. So make sure you pound the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. And all my links to everything, the Discord's down below. Also, all my I have a link tree now. So all my links that has to do with anything is down below. You can pull that up. You can get the links to my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can also get the links to the betusa.com. It takes you straight to everything. You click in there and it gives you all the links to everything. That way, y'all can just click in there and go, and it will take you right to it. Okay. All right. So let's get right into it. See what we got in the comments there. Jay Issues in here saying pound that like button. Yeah, that is the best thing y'all guys can do. I'm going to stand up because I got a stand-up desk, and I'm going to take advantage of that because I sit down at my computer a lot. So now, because of the work that I do, but now I am able to stand up a lot more now, which is awesome. Because if you don't have if you work from home, anybody in here work from home, get you a stand-up desk. It's a wonderful thing. Let me tell you, it is a wonderful thing. Make sure you get in the comment section, guys. Love to hear y'all's thoughts as well as we go through the channel out today. I'm bringing this to you live Monday through Friday, and also on Sundays we'll be live as well. So, of course, we'll be doing live play-by-play for the Panthers game. So, yeah, just make sure you pound the like button. That's the best thing you can do, okay? 11 people in here, so there should already be 11 likes in here, or 11 people in here. There should be 11 likes already, all right? Anyways, let's get right into it. Chris Max coming in saying, hey, bro, you ready for week one? I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. I am getting there. All right, let's get into some news here real quick. First off, we've got the Panthers obviously making some moves on the defensive line, kind of sending some shockwaves a little bit through, the league a little bit, right? Chris Wormley for a visit. It's more, which is kind of interesting to me. Wormley, fresh off a nice performance with the Steelers back in 2022. Could be a nice little secret sauce to what we need to spice up our defense. And I'm going to talk more about him later, but he left without a deal. So it's a little bit of a cliffhanger ending here with this guy. I feel that we're craving some defensive depth here, guys. We're like a hungry fan at a tailgate party, right? And time is running faster than we can obviously see getting ready for this week. So will it be Wormley, or will the Panthers pull another rabbit out of their helmet? Obviously, we'll see. But there are some guys that we will be going over who I think we need to target at this point. Okay. Obviously, the Marquise Haynes thing, I think it's a blow. It's definitely a big blow to our team. When you think about the Brian Burns saga, was enough drama, right, for one team. The Panthers obviously have to, give us another bombshell and another setback in his recovery. And it hit the Panthers like a freight train, I feel like. And it hit me like a freight train because I thought he would be ready to go based off of what we're hearing. And I think we had some big plans for this guy, and now he's riding the injury reserve roller coaster. Haynes was so confident and ready for week one that he was particularly riding it in neon lights saying, hello, I'm ready, right? But now with this setback, the Panthers' plans are in a little bit of a disarray, right? Like a quarterback under a relentless blitz, it's kind of like that, basically. Think about it this way. Think about it like that: a quarterback under relentless blitz, right? But Frank Wright's trying to keep our spirits high, man. And let's be real, we want Haynes back on the field and not on the bench, right? given any updates on the wide receivers. From what I know right now, only thing that I know is we don't know anything about DJ Chark yet. We don't know where his progression's at. Obviously, they're saying he should be ready or will be ready week 1. Also with Laviska Shenault, he's off of concussion protocol as of right now, but they haven't said if he's going to be playing or not. And then with Terrace Marshall on his back issue, there hasn't really been any update. They're saying he should be ready to go by week 1, but obviously we don't know yet. And DJ Chark did speak to the media yesterday. He did say, I've had setbacks before, and said that, he is, if he's ready to go week 1 and the doctors clear him, then he'll go. If not, then he'll just have to sit out, which he's done before. So really, there hasn't been much updates on the wide receivers from that standpoint. 14 people watching. Make sure you pound that like button. Much appreciated. Another thing, Carolina Panthers, the teammates are rallying behind this guy, man, against Brian Burns, holding on to our football helmets because Panthers have a contract dispute on their hands. And I talked about this yesterday for a very, very long time. And it just continues to get a little bit juicier. I feel like, it's causing a little bit of a frenzy with this whole Brian Burns thing a little bit. He's attending meetings, but not hitting the field. So obviously that's got everyone talking. Obviously reporters are buzzing that the Panthers, reps are miles apart on the contract, and it's all eyes on the Nick Bosa's deal with the 49ers to set the market on fire. And then Burns' team, obviously the teammates are putting on a united front, screaming, pay the man, right? And then Shaq Thompson is kind of leading the charge in this, from my understanding, and he's particularly ready to start a fan revolt if they don't sort this out before week 1. I mean, the thing is, the Panthers might be playing hardball here. And they're skating on thin ice because you're risking a little bit there, right? Will this standoff end in a touchdown, or will it be a fumble that us fans won't forget, right? That's the question. Okay. Whether it's trading him and getting value out of him, if you trade him because you don't want to pay him, or you don't feel the need to pay him, Scott Fitter, or you pay the man. It's one or the other. Those are your two options, because you can't let him walk for nothing. And then we're out of $16 million because of the fact that you just let this guy walk. I'm not too worried about it. I see Brian Burns playing week 1. I see them working out a deal. I'm thinking they're going to work out a deal this week, but it's got to be done here soon. And then Frank Wright, adjustments, right? I think the Panthers and Burns have a deal done, but they are trying to figure out the guaranteed money. I saw something about that too. That's why I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I've been 50-50 on this. Like I'm saying, is it a contract related or is it personal reasons? Okay. But you know what I mean? Panthers let a lot of good players walk, being greedy. Don't let Burns walk, please. Yeah. Our pass rush would be in a disarray if you let this guy walk, right? Then you really are going to have to hit the free agent market, right? So, and this whole thing about the Rams trade thing, that was from last year, or it was like right before the draft that this was like going on or something like that. Those draft picks are no longer there for the Rams. So it's not like we would even get them. And so it doesn't even matter at that point. That Rams talk needs to just go away. That Rams talk just needs to go away. Frank Wright's adjustments, last but not least, who's trying to steer the ship? Frank Wright's the one trying to steer the ship here through these basically stormy waters. That the best analogy I can put it, right? The contract saga has been, shadowed over otherwise smooth preseason preparations. He's kind of been caught in the middle of it. He's juggling praise for Burns' work ethic and the uncertainty of his absence on the field, right? Like I said, Frank Wright is very tight-lipped. It's very hard, it seemed like, to get anything out of them. It's like trying to dance in the rain, though, while holding an umbrella. That's another analogy I can put there. He's staying focused on the task at hand, which is getting the team ready to face the Falcons in week 1 and contract drama being darned. And honestly, I like his mindset. I get right for his mindset. He's just, if Burns is there, great. If not, next man up. And that's how you have to have a mindset in the NFL, because that's how it works. It's the next man up, right? What else are you going to do, right? I mean, you can't sit here and daunt on it and then not be ready for week 1, right? You can't daunt on one player when there's 52 other guys, on a 53-man roster that makes this team whole, right? So this dream scenario for Wright or the Panthers, but in the NFL, it's always business first. So if Burns feels undervalued and he's ready to hold out, that could spell trouble if the Panthers falter in week 1, and fans won't hesitate to throw the playbook at, the GM, which is Scott Fitter, right? And so there's the news and updates I've got for right now. This is there's a lot of drama, setbacks, contract dispute galore. So the thing is, will the Panthers emerge victorious or be tackled by the chaos? Obviously, only time will tell. But one thing for sure is the season opener is going to be a thriller either way, and I will not be missing that. All right. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Pound that like button, guys. Make sure you continue to pound it like it owes you money. Just a Hulk smash that like button. Super Trebo's in here. What's up, Pantherology? How have you been? Are you worried about the Atlanta's run game Sunday? Burns doesn't start. We never start out good against Atlanta. And if we start out 0-3, do you think it's going to be a long year? First off, Trebo, I've been well. Thank you for joining the live stream and joining the show and showing your support. Am I worried about Atlanta's run game against Sunday if Burns doesn't start? Absolutely. Absolutely I am, because they have both. If you go look at the games we played them last, they put up over like 160 yards rushing in both games. So that's a problem. And you're right. We never start out good at Atlanta. You got to treat this, guys. We have to treat this game like a playoff game, right? Because it's an in-division rival, like I keep saying. Same thing with the Saints game in week 2, But if we start 0-3, do you think it's going to be a long year? I think that if we start out 0-3 and then that long stretch of games till the bye week and we don't win one, then yeah, I'll say it's going to be a long year. If not, and we get, if we start out 2-4 or 3-3 going to the bye week, I'm happy with it, because the rest of the schedule gets a lot easier besides the Dallas and the Jaguars game. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that every game is going to be a cakewalk. I'm just saying that from a standpoint, the schedule does get easier after the bye week. So we'll see. Only time will tell on that part, Trey. All right, let's move on. So who's on the hot seat? Well, you see it. And these are the guys who I think are on the hot seat. YGM's definitely on the hot seat. Terrace Marshall, CJ Henderson, and Scott Fitter for me is getting there. And that's why I added him on this list. Part of me thinks that these guys are is going to be on the hot seat. Okay. Because, we're already got a lot going on before this season, right? Before the even week 1, the tension is high in this front office because of the players and decision makers, So these are the guys I think on a hot seat. And the reason, and I've already been saying that we need to trade YGM because, maybe not many people expect to see him, this season. Really, he's entering his final year of his contract. The Panthers are giving him one last chance to prove his worth. He's a former second-round pick who needs to step up. And the Panthers won't hesitate to show him the exit door, which I'm okay with, because it's a make or break season for this guy. because he has not produced as a second-round pick. So I need to see him produce. And it might be a little bit harder for him to produce due to the fact of Burns and Justin Houston, who are both going to be outside where he's going to play. And he's going to be being a rotational piece, but still, he's going to have playing time. So he's going to have to step up when it comes to when he does enter the games. Terrace Marshall Jr., we don't have DJ Moore anymore. Okay. This is his opportunity to shine as a primary pass catcher in our wide receiver room that is lacking obvious top wide receivers, which means Marshall needs to step up and prove his worth, right? Because I understand he's going through a frustrating injury during the summer that has slowed him down, but now this is his chance to really get his career going. And we've been waiting for him to break out, and right now the clock is ticking. I need him to step up. I need him to ball out. CJ Henderson, another one. Now, he's Mr. Consistency. He has shown some promise this offseason. I will give him that. But the regular season is going to be where the real test begins for CJ. His fifth-year option wasn't picked up, so the pressure's on to perform consistently. And he needs to prove that he can handle the pressure when the lights are on and they are the brightest. Okay? The cornerback room needs to step up and become a reliable force, because if CJ Henderson falters, it could spell a lot of trouble for the Panthers defense, especially if also, and God forbid, knock on wood, that Dante Jackson and JC Horn get injured. Okay. So, and they're kind of on the hot seat. I'd even maybe put Dante Jackson on the hot seat after we chose to take him, sign the younger guy over Stephon Gilmore and let him walk. And Dante Jackson hasn't produced except, in a couple games since he signed that contract. Do you think Miles Sanders will have a great game? I think he could have a great game against Atlanta. I could see it. I think that we're going to have to be reliant on our run game this year, like we were last year, because of a rookie quarterback. Like I said before, your offensive line, no matter what team it is in the NFL, you look at Dallas, you look at the Eagles, look at those guys and look at what they've produced from an offensive line standpoint. Now, Dak Prescott's a different story. I'm very questionable on Dak Prescott this year, even though he's got a top offensive line. But look what Jalen Hurts has done. And look at what Trevor Lawrence has done now that he's had help on his offensive line. Your offensive line can only take your quarterback so far. It's the same way Tom Brady was so good, because styles win fights, schemes work for certain players. That's my mindset when it comes to football. Styles wins fights, like Conor McGregor said. It's the same thing in football. Schemes work with certain players, and you have to be willing to build around your franchise guys. You got to be also willing to put a scheme around your franchise guys, but you also got to give them help. And Bryce Young, I think, can be elite, but it's only how far it's only is willing to give him, right? How far they're willing to go, right? And how well they're willing to block and give him the time to make the plays. But with the run game, it will definitely help take off some pressure for Bryce. So I really think that we need to have a really good run game for us to have an efficient year. And for Bryce to, produce produce at the level we think that he can produce at. And last but not least, okay, Scott Fitter. I think he's on the hot seat. Okay, some of you may agree, some of you may not. Okay, but this man has been pulling strings in front office. He's made some bold moves. He's traded key players like Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson. He's basically sacrificed DJ Moore for a shot at drafting Bryce Young, which was it's a risk. It's a high stakes gamble, right? But That's part of the NFL. You got to take chances. I will say that. But we're eagerly have been waiting for results, and the pressure is mounting. Federer is currently navigating this tricky situation with Brian Burns. The clock is ticking for him to deliver results. And if things don't go as planned, it won't be Coach Wright on the hot seat. It's going to be Scott Federer facing the heat. All right. So, these are the players and decision makers who I feel are on the hot seat this coming season. Will they rise to the occasion and shine, or will the pressure get the best of them? Like I said, time will tell. A lot of excitement, a lot of drama, a lot of unknowns, but we are trying to get on this quest of success for this football team. That's what we're here to do, right? So, that's what these guys are here to do. So, yeah, these are the guys that are on my hot seat, man. Let me know if y'all agree. I don't think he's on the seat being after the rule got all the attention. Well, unfortunately, though, with that whole thing, though, the thing that contradicts, though, that statement there, though, is when he got asked by the media, they go, well, we noticed that a lot of Matt Rule's guys are gone. Does that show that, Matt Rule didn't know what he's doing or something like that? It was some question of those kinds of sorts. And he said, no, this is a team effort. We did this together. So obviously Scott Federer still had some say in what they were doing. So even with the Matt Rule situation, he still had some say. He still had some pull. So I don't really agree with that. That's just me, though. Everybody has a right to their opinion, though, and I appreciate your comment. I guess I guess if we suck, fire him, but wouldn't Wright go with him out the door? No, Wright's a first-year coach. That's not how it works. Just because you fire your GM, you don't fire your new head coach because of that. All right, you just don't fire your first-year head coach. Now, I mean, when I'm saying a first-year head coach, he's a first-year head coach as in a Carolina Panther. All right, let's move on. Let's get into the projection of this roster. All right, so this is my roster projection for the week 1 depth chart. Obviously, under center, you got your first string quarterback, Bryce. You got Andy Dalton, second string. Pass catchers, you got DJ Chark. Obviously, depending if he plays. Same thing with Terrace Marshall. Obviously, those two are depending on the progressions, right? Third string, you got Jonathan Mingo. Fourth string, you got Laviska Shenault. Okay, and then, of course, your slot wide receiver is going to be Thielen. Then tight ends, you got Hurst, right? Obviously, with the Matt Corral off the, let me get back to the under center first, because with the fact that Matt Corral is off the New England, we're going to be entering the regular season with, our franchise guy, Bryce, and then, of course, the 13th year backup, Andy Dalton. Then in the backfield, despite not playing a single preseason snap due to a groin injury, Miles Sanders absolutely expects to be ready for the opener, from my understanding. Now, the pass catchers, injuries to Chark, Marshall, Shenault, will clarify the situation as the week progresses, right? Then as we go into the offensive line, Zavala gets the nod over Mays after picking up the last 2 preseason starts at that right guard position. And then this is like Lil Kev 101. This is my projection. This is my roster projection. Like I put this together. This might not exactly be the depth chart once week 1 comes out, or I mean once they put out the depth chart for week 1. So this is my projection. Like this is me thinking what it's going to be. Wow, there's 17 likes, guys. Appreciate all y'all. 17 likes. Let's keep pounding that like button. All right, let's move on to defense and special teams. Okay, so defense, okay, specialists, okay. Now, obviously, defensive line, General manager might use that open spot on the 53-man roster to add another big man before the season opener. Then if you go into the middle and off the edge there, you got Burns and Houston are set to make their on-field debut as the dynamic duo in Atlanta. I do think Burns is going to play, guys. I really do. Secondary, like Sanders, Jackson is optimistic about his health for the start of the season. And then special teams, I think Amir Smith, with his game-breaking abilities, could challenge for one of the return spots in the future, though. So that's your defense and specialist depth chart. So this is my projected depth chart. There's the offense right there. And then, so this is my projected depth chart I put together for our team against the Falcons week 1. And then obviously the defense and specialists. So this is what I think as of right now. So anyways, let's move on to the next topic though, okay? Anybody got any questions about that? Let me know in the comments. Let me know who y'all think as well that you project here in the under center, pass catchers, offensive line, backfield, whatever, tight ends. Also let me hot seats. We already did that. And then on the defense, let me know what y'all think to this as well. So I think this is going to be, I have a feeling this is going to be about right there. Obviously, in the middle, though, in the edge with Marquise Haynes, I obviously put IR there. Amari Bono will be the backup there. So, we'll see. Black Hat Panther Podcast is in here. Guys, go check them out if you haven't already. They are awesome. Great group of guys. They are the, no pun intended, cats meow. All right. They're funny, man. I think we as fans will be roasting Icky again after Sunday's games. We'll see. He's been off to a slow start. I'm glad that we got to see him play in the preseason more, which I think he needed. Hopefully this after the preseason, the time off and some preparation, maybe be helpful. Hopefully James Campen can get him in a groove. But we will see about that. There might have to be a roster change, whether that's moving Christensen to the outside and moving him to the inside. Because right now I don't see anybody going away from that. I don't see Zavala moving over back to the left side. So I could, I see Zavala staying there at the right guard position until Corbett gets back. All right. DJ Johnson played defensive end and tight end. Do you think if he sucks at DN this year, they could switch him to tight end? Ooh, that's a good question. It's a very good question. And that's a very interesting question. The problem is DJ Johnson is third string right there, right? So really it's for him. It's really for him. What he needs to do is try to get that second string job from YGM and continue to battle it out there. I mean, still, even though we're going into the season, these guys that are in third string or second string, whatever the case may be, can still, they can still fight for those positions, right? I mean, obviously you want to have the guy in there with the hot hand, no matter who it is. But that is an interesting thing. I'm not too sure. About him shifting to the tight end position. I would have to really, really think about that. Let's see. Josh came in and said Mingo will be over TMJ. They drafted him that's the reason why they drafted him, in my opinion. Josh, I get it. I'm not opposed to, Mingo being there. My new TV's here. How about that? My new TV's here. Hell yeah. Like I said, guys, I've been remodeling this room, so I'm gonna have a whole new office space and have a TV up there, stuff like that. So it's gonna be cool once it's done. Where did they play Mingo during preseason? Looked like he played on the outside a little bit, but it at least seemed like for the most part to me, I saw him playing more in the slot position, which, I'm not opposed to. I think that he'll be fine in the slot. But yeah, wide receiver 3. But I saw them moving him on the outside and the inside, so we'll see. We'll see where he, ends up. I mean, Thielen's gonna be the slot, so they'll probably move him to the outside if Mingo plays, right? Because it's obviously, like I said, it depends on the DJ Chark, LaVisca, Marshall, the whole injury thing, because he will obviously be playing if those guys are out, right? So we'll see. We will see. Only time will tell, guys. Only time will tell. All right, let's move on to the next topic here. All right. Free agent targets before week 1. This is something we were talking about yesterday, and I finally just decided, you know what? Let's go further in depth into this situation. Okay. The free agent targets before week 1, I think that we need to go after is these guys. Like, obviously, we've already had Chris Wormley, visit us. We're kind of facing a defensive front crisis, though. We're lacking depth there, right? Derek Brown and Shy Tuttle can only do so much, and there's a void behind them, in my opinion, right? And even if we look at that depth chart, there is, enter Chris Wormley, a player who might be a missing link there. Wormley shown back in Pittsburgh that last season that I think he could be a significant upgrade to over our current options, because he's 6'5", 300 pounds. He's a versatile force who can play as a 3-4 defensive end or even in the interior. And I think it's a move that Panthers might. I know they have considered him and obviously brought him in there, but sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. So if they want to fortify this defensive front, I think Wormley could be one of the answers that we need. Okay. Then if you look at Melvin Ingram, we're dealing with a pass rusher predicament with Birds holding out for a new contract. And it's a game of contract chess that's been playing out, and the Panthers seem to say they can't afford to be, we can't afford to be without Panthers. Or, good Lord, what am I trying to say? I'm having a brain fart. Sorry. The Panthers can't afford to be without Burns. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. And because he's our best pass rusher. Okay. But if you enter Melvin Ingram, a seasoned veteran who could be a missing piece to a pass rushing puzzle, despite his age, though, his performance, though, still speaks volumes. Last year, though, he had 6 sacks from just 45% of snaps with the Miami Dolphins. So he shows he still has the moves. And considering his local ties here, the move just makes too much sense if Burns decides to continue to hold out. Obviously, hopefully it doesn't come to that. But if it does, I think Ingram could be a guy that we could go after. Okay? Obviously, if it comes to that. Okay? And then last but not least, Dalton Risner. I was talking about this guy yesterday. Okay? The Panthers have been in a pickle when it comes to our offensive line depth. Okay? Ricky Lee, Nash Jensen are promising developmental players, but there's an undeniable need for a seasoned pro, I feel like, to provide some of that insurance there, right? And I think Risner, with his proven performance, is the answer, because last season he only allowed 3 sacks and 1 penalty over nearly 1,000 snaps with the Denver Broncos, okay? And that says a lot playing for the Denver Broncos last year, okay? So while he won't be stealing starting reps, he'd be the perfect insurance policy in case the injury bug, bites us in the ass again. Okay. It's like having a safety net for the starting unit. Okay. And the Panthers should make a move before the Falcons come knocking. That's all I got to say with that, because, this clock is ticking. We're already in Tuesday. Sunday's not far away. The regular season is right upon us right here, right? We have some tough decisions to make. Now, the thing is, will they make these signings? Will they bolster up this squad before week 1? Again, like I've said, only time will tell. That's all I can say. Only time will tell. We don't know nothing until it actually happens, right? It's like we are on, this team is on the hunt for greatness. We want to be great again. We want to bring back those old days of the Panthers when we were dominating the NFC South, okay? And we were doing very well, okay? And we made it to the Super Bowl. We were making the playoffs, stuff like that, right? So we need to we just need to also just take a deep breath, relax, and just obviously just go with the flow, right? It's like going on a first date and you meet a nice girl. You don't want to rush into things, right? That's kind of how the situation is. Okay, so let's see here. Getting the comments here real quick. How come NFL doesn't allow player options like NBA? Signing Burns to a 3-year extension with third-year player option seems reasonable if he doesn't produce over 12 sacks a season like Nick Bosa. That's a good question. I mean, there is the trade clause or whatever, but I don't know why the NFL doesn't do it that way, right? I don't know, because I think in the NBA, no, because baseball is the only sport that actually guarantees the money. I think so, like the full paycheck. So, I don't know. That's a tough question. I don't know why they don't do that. I think it would be great to kind of have that. And yeah, you're right. It would be cheaper for us. It definitely would be cheaper for us. Wow. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everyone pounding that like button, subscribing to the channel. We're up to 22 likes, so I appreciate that. Feel free to join the Discord. The Discord link is down below. All my links, you see, if you look in the description of this live stream, all my links are right there. If you click on that, it takes you right to my link tree. And you're able to join the Discord. You get the Bet USA link there, my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel, TikTok, all of it's down there. You can just click on that and it'll take you to all of the list of everything. So go check out that link tree if you want to, support me on any of my other social media. I'm very active on TikTok, very active on Twitter, and Instagram as well. But feel free to join the Discord, guys. That's a great way to connect with this community and myself. Also, check out betusa.com. Like I said, the link is in that link tree. You sign up for free today, you get 125% bonus on your first bet. I'm working on another sponsorship to bring to this channel, which is going to be Manscaped. Just working out the contract details. Bryce throws for 300 yards in opener. True or false? True if the Falcons come out fighting. It could be true as long as our offensive line holds up. As long as our offensive line gives him the time to and protect him. And I feel that, and if all of our wide receivers are healthy and ready to go, I would say, yeah. I would say true. But if DJ Chark, Terrace Marshall, and LaVisca are out, and then I would say false, even if our offensive line holds up. I could see him throwing for like 240. Hopefully you won't have to throw 300 yards. I mean, who knows? If we're throwing the ball and it's working, then he might, right? But yeah, that's a tough question. That is a tough question. My question to you, true or false? Will the Panthers defense hold the Falcons under 120 rushing total yards? 120 total rushing yards. True or false? Will the Panthers hold the Falcons under 120 rushing yards? That's my true or false question to you guys. It's a good topic. Maybe I'll bring that to maybe I'll make a PowerPoint next time and do some true or false questions with you guys leading up to this game. Maybe tomorrow when I do another live stream, I'll put a slide deck together again like I did today. Obviously, I've been putting slide decks together for you guys, but which I'll continue doing because it seems like y'all enjoy those. So that's my question to you. True or false? Here, I'll put it in the chat real quick. I'll make a poll for you guys real quick. Will the Panthers hold ATL under 120 rushing yards? Question mark. True? False? And there's your poll. And then we'll do a Q&A too. I got a question. I got a Q&A question for you guys. I'm going to put a poll up of that too. Okay. Well, can I edit it? All right, perfect. So I put a poll in there. Then I also did a Q&A. Then I did a little Q&A in there as well. We haven't been good against the run for years. That's no lie. Ever since we lost the Luke Kuechly days and Smith days and all that. Yeah, it's been bad. It's been bad against the run. I mean, I don't know about rushing. I'm thinking about that. Falcons draft last year, first round, now running back. So maybe their run blocking's great. We'll see. We'll see. Do you think it's money, Pantherology, or does Burns just not want to be in Carolina, you think? He's said multiple times he wants to be here. He says that he wants to only play in one place, and that's here. Guys say that, though, so he could just be lying. But and then, yeah, I think it could be money, but then part of me thinks that the reason why he hasn't been showing up to practice and stuff, even though he's been at meetings, is also maybe because there's something going on behind closed doors that we don't know about that could be an issue, right? Like personal reasons, right? So part of me thinks it could be that. Like, I'm kind of like 50-50 on it. I'm not like 100% sure, right? I wish I knew more, and I wish I could tell y'all guys more. Obviously, I'm doing this from afar, right? I wish that I had secret spy agent skills so I could sneak into the Carolina Panthers front office and put in like mini recorders around there and hear every word that they're speaking in each office, right? Even in the locker rooms and stuff like that. I wish I could do that. But I can't. I'm doing this obviously from afar and watching the press conferences, reading articles, watching Twitter, listening to other Panthers creators and their opinions and stuff like that. And so, and obviously listening to reporters, at least the ones that pay attention to mainly the Panthers, right? So, everything's been very tight-lipped. There's only so much I can get out, right? There's only so much I can get out of what, they're saying and they're telling us and telling these reporters and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Part of me thinks it is the money issue. Part of me thinks it's a personal issue. But I think also it could be his agent in his ear. I think, his agent could be, trying to get him more money just because he produced last year, right? And because he smashed all of his records, his personal records. So I don't know. Then in a 3-4 defense versus the run game, seems like opponents can easily get 4 yards. Yeah, it's a lot. It's because you're not filling the box up as much, right? You got 3 guys on the front, four linebackers. So it seems a lot easier. Obviously we'll see, because apparently we haven't been seeing the true offense, the true offensive scheme that's been run. We haven't been seeing the true defensive scheme that's being run because we were hiding it away from other teams to be able to watch film on us, right? So, we that's another thing that's unknown. We don't even know what this offense and defense is really going to look like, because of the fact they've been hiding it all through not training camp, but through preseason, apparently. So, and they've only been using like 25, they said something like 25 to 10 to 25 plays on both sides of the ball. So it's been very limited. So we don't know really what this defense is going to look like. I think he wants to get paid, but not seem like a jerk in the process. So he comes to work without practicing. And that's fair. I mean, at least he's still showing up. At least he's not pulling a Chris Jones, right? He's not pulling this Chris Jones theory of, hey, I'm not playing until you restructure my contract. I'll wait till week 8. You know what I mean? And he's not holding out like that. But it sounds like with the Chris Jones situation, it sounds like they might get him situated. They might have got that whole thing situated. So we'll see. I can't go to work and not work unless I hide in bathroom most days or out back smoking. I get that, man. I get that. I work from home, so working from home has its benefits, obviously. I heard Burns and Bosa have the same agent, and if that's true, would explain a lot. We can look that up real quick. Let's see, Brian Burns. We can find out who his agent is. Todd France. The thing is what's crazy is that Burns is getting paid $16 million a year, and we picked up his 5th-year option from that. Here's an article that I found on the Burns deal. Definitely false. Burns' first touchdown pass goes to Thielen. I'm going to say Thielen or Hurst. There's been a lot of good points brought up over the last few days about Burns. Yeah. We have a history of letting great players walk. That needs to end and start with Burns, in my opinion. You're absolutely right. I don't disagree with that. So this is an interesting article that just came out today that I found on Burns. It says, because when I looked up his agent, it says, and this was at 5:30 in the morning, they put this out. This one says, obviously missed last week or last practice for personal reasons. I'm trying to read to see, and his agent's name is Todd France. Then Shaq Thompson has come out and also said that he feels that it will get resolved this week. Let me see this Todd France guy, because I wonder if he is Todd France clients. Well, Todd France, interesting. Okay, so he has, okay, wow, this guy has a lot of athletes. He's got Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Harold Landry, Grady Jarrett, Traymon Edmonds, Justin Simmons, Nick Chubb, Fletcher Cox, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jawan Bentley, Daquan Jones, Anton Harrison, Brian Breezy, Jason Davis, Kaiser White, Leonard Floyd, Javon Kinlaw, Justin Jefferson, Brian Burns, Carlos Dunlap, Bud Dupree, Terrell Edmonds, Isaiah Wynn, Max Sharping, Bryce Callahan. Okay, so these guys are all gone, though. The ones that are the rest of these guys. Dude, he has a lot of guys. Damn, he's got a lot of guys. So he's got a lot of guys that are who he is as an agent. I don't see Bosa on his contract or in his. So Todd France, this is the guy that I found. This is based off that article. Todd France is Brian Burns' agent. I do not see Nick or Bosa on this list. Josh Allen. First off, Josh Allen is not 31. I need to fix that. Dak Prescott, 30. He's not 30. Dude, some of these people need to fix these ages in here because that's not right. I don't see any Bosa on this list. So what is that? What does that even? Yeah, age. Like, yo, they ain't no damn. Josh Allen ain't no damn 31. I read an article yesterday saying Burns isn't going to hold out because he wants to get sacks. Do you think he's afraid that others will step up in his place and lower his value, so he's deciding to play? No, because I don't think anybody on our team is going to be produce more than him. That, I don't see that happening. So even if someone did come, even if someone did come in, or even if someone stepped up because he doesn't want to play week 1 and they played well, it's not going to take the value away from him because, I mean, no offense, there's nobody on this team that's going to put up numbers like he has right now. Maybe Frankie Louvu. And I think if Frankie Louvu was playing outside linebacker, but so not Bosa. Okay, I didn't want to spread false information. Thanks, Clay. Yeah, no problem. I mean, this is who I could find. I mean, at least from a free, finding who out these guys' agents are. It's kind of hard to find some of the time. That information's most of the time fully disclosed. Let me see if there's another one in here. Let's see. Here's a Forbes. Okay, here's a look at this guy. There he is right there. Todd France. Dude, I wish I was a sports agent. Contracts 1.4 billion. Athletes First agency. Clients Derrick Henry. Wait, now this changes? So wait. Derrick Henry. I didn't see Derrick Henry on that last list. Dak Prescott, Aaron Donald. Let's see. I want to see his clients though. I mean, let's see if he's got any other ones. NFL mega agent Todd France accused of client poaching, hit with fraud ruling. When did this happen? Oh, September of last year this happened. Shit. Okay. I want to see his clients though. I want to double check that client list. This is Fans Pro. NFL free agent spot tracker. Okay, hold on. So spot tracker might be more up to date. Todd France, Brian Burns, top Bryce Callahan, Fletcher Cox, Carlos Dunlap, Dupree, Bud Dupree, Jermaine Edmonds, Terrell Edmonds, Leonard Floyd. Yeah, let's do it like that. All right, Todd France. There we go. Okay. Jawan Bentley, Burns, Callahan, Cox, Dunlap, Dupree, Edmonds, Terrell Edmonds, Leonard Floyd, Grady Jarrett, Daquan Jones, Javon Kinlaw, Prescott, Simmons, Isaiah Wynn, Josh Allen, Zach Allen. Oh, wait, no. Josh Allen's not. Well, okay, he's on the same team as Todd Francis. Okay, so they're all on the same. These guys are all on the same team. Okay, so let's see if any of these guys, since they're all on the same agency, let's see if Bosa. There's Nick Bosa. He's with the same agency, not the same agent. His agent is Brian I. Rolt, CAA Sports. Josh. So he's with the same agency, but not the same agent. If you're still in the chat, Josh. Same agency, but not the same agent. So if you're still in the chat, Josh, same agency, but not the same agent. If Burns was not to play, Houston takes his spot or Amari Barno. Based off my depth chart projection, it would be. Let's see. So yeah, it would be a Barno that would take his spot if Burns didn't play, because I mean, unless they move YGM over there and then they put Justin Houston, where he's at, and then they keep DJ as second string and then put Barno behind YGM. That's the only thing I could think of. Because Houston's getting paid under $8 million for his production and age. If Burns comes in and was only to get 9 sacks again versus an older Houston's 9 sacks, would that put Burns' value below 20? I would say it would. Yes, I could agree with that, Kev. I could agree with that, because if you're producing as a guy who's 34 years old, and the guy's only getting paid $9 million, and he put up the same amount of sacks as you did, but then people are going to make excuses for Burns, saying, well, we got a new defensive coordinator, we run a new defensive scheme, but yet this is the position that he should be playing. Like, this is the Burns true position where he should have been playing all along. So yes, I would say yes, that would put Burns' value below. Okay, appreciate you taking the time to look into that. Yeah, no problem. I wanted to double check to make sure, because these agent things can be interesting. I've looked into becoming an NFL agent because I have a degree in business. So I think you have to have your master's, though, but I could be wrong. But I have a degree in business, so I looked into doing it, but it's a long road. The long road. And you don't make any money unless you are signing clients. And it's because it's all commission, right? It's all commission based, from my understanding. So I'd have to look into more in that, though. Look into it. That would be sick, though. Below 20 million, below Nick Bosa's asking for. Yeah. I mean, right now, let's say if Burns does what he did last year. Yeah. So his agent's probably trying to get Burns to sit out, but I don't think Burns wants to since they are having Bosa sit out. Yeah. Because now it makes sense, right? Because his agent works for the same agency with the agent that is Nick Bosa's agent. So they're in the same agency. Okay. So it's pretty, now that we dive deep in that, it's now kind of, it's interesting now. Bosa is holding up everything for Burns. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting though, because Nick Bosa's agent, it works with Brian Burns' agent because they're in the same agency. So there could be some scheming going on in the background of between these two agents. You know what I mean? There could be some scheming going on or some kind of competition, right? I don't know. It's interesting though to think about. It's very interesting to think about though. So it's very interesting to think about. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows, right? Sometimes you just got to be an investigator and find this stuff, right? So, well, guys, I'm going to hop off. I have gone over my time. I've gone over my lunch break. So I am going to hop off. I've got some meetings coming up, some clients I have phone calls with here shortly. So I'm going to have to hop off. But I'm definitely will be back live tomorrow. Going to bust out some shorts later on tonight, and I'll have some stuff coming out for you there. We'll be on Twitter, busting out some stuff there as well. So we'll definitely be on there being pretty active and stuff like that. So I'll be very active today on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Twitter. So make sure you follow me on all my social media, especially Twitter and TikTok, if you want to see what I'm posting, because sometimes I can't post the TikToks that I post on YouTube because they're too long. Sometimes my TikToks are a minute. Sometimes my TikToks are a minute and 30 seconds. So they're very short, but unfortunately with YouTube, shorts can only be a minute. So I try to make them a minute as best as I can. So make sure you use the link tree to follow me on all my social media. The link tree is down in the description of this video. Also, the Discord is down in this video as well, and it's in the link tree. Also, check out betusa.com. The link is in this description of the link tree. You could see it. It'll say BetUS 125%. That is the link that will take you straight to the site. And then if you use promo code Pantherology, they'll actually tack on an extra 25% on your first bet. So basically, if you bet $100, you sign up for free, you get that 125% bonus. Plus, then if you get the 25%, it's 150%. So basically, you put $100 down, they'll match 150. So I know that the NFL week 1 is upon us. I know we got some betting degenerates on YouTube. So definitely go check it out. Okay. All right. Other than that, guys, I'm going to hop off. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Appreciate y'all continue to show your love and support. I love that y'all get in the chat. So make sure you continue to do that. Make sure you continue to pound the like button and subscribe to the channel. All right. Appreciate everyone. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Peace, love, happiness. I'm out.